Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil, Laird.
Derk, Harron.
I'm Mercer.
And we are here to do a special review for you guys. This is a review of something that we've been keeping our eye on this channel for about 3 years now at this point.
Yep.
Back in our very first year covering Phoenix Comic Con, which would have been, I think, 2014, we met two people, Kevin Phipps and Sean Richards, who were walking around the con together. They were in the middle of filming what we just reviewed today. So we talked to them. We did an interview with them. One of our first, actually it might be the first episode of convention coverage that we ever did on the channel. We spoke to them about this movie, and here we are 3 years later, finally with access to watching the movie. And we are talking about a movie called Friday the 13th Part 3 Memoriam, the documentary. Or the Friday the 13th Part 3 Memoriam documentary. I'm not sure where the goes in there. But this one was kind of a shorter, I thought it was going to be a full-length feature, but it was only about 37 minutes, and we got to see the reviewer cut. So I'm not sure if it's going to change at all, but I wanted to make sure we gave our opinion since we've been watching it, keeping an eye on it for so long, and I've been very curious about it. So, essentially, we'll do this like we normally do it, a regular review and stuff. And my overall thoughts were it was entertaining. It was well done. I after watching it, I craved more information about the movie itself. So I feel like I just wanted more, which I guess is a good thing. But perhaps more information, perhaps less of some other stuff. But nonetheless, it was still enjoyable and informative. I definitely learned a lot about the movie. So, Derk, what did you think?
I liked it. There's quite a bit of information about Jason, the actor, the actor that played Jason, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty informative. It felt more like a featurette than like a documentary, but
like a Blu-ray thing to throw on the DVD. Yeah,
but I don't know. I had a fun time watching it.
All right, so Andrew.
I thought it was pretty cool. It did give you kind of a different glimpse into what the people had to do, and the fact that they had a catastrophe with the track breaking down and all that stuff. It was kind of cool to see the behind the scenes with that. They tied it into kind of the legacy of the gentleman that played Jason. I'm spacing out his name. But they did a really good job with kind of encompassing how cool he was. And he did the whole con circuit before it was, what it is today. So, and he liked, being with the fans and stuff. So that was kind of cool to see that, this crazy psycho killer on screen can have, a whole different side to him. I thought that was cool too, and then I don't know. I felt like you guys said, they did give a lot of information, but I felt like they left a lot out about the cabin and that kind of stuff. Exactly what was lost. It's really one location. When they said that the lake dried up, that was kind of weird too. So there's no lake, there's no cabin. Like, it really hammers home that everything, the whole location just kind of disappeared. So it's kind of cool. I liked it.
Marcia?
I thought they did a good job. I thought the way they presented the information was a little strange because it wasn't very flowy, but if you're saying it's a reviewer's portion, maybe it is going to be cut different for the full length. But it went from movie directly into about Richard Booker?
Brooker, I'm not sure. One of them.
And then they referred back to the cabin burning down. It was a weird cut in submission. So if I was going to give any sort of feedback, would be like, let's continue the flow and then get into the cast. And I think if they were going to, instead of just talking about Jason, it would have been good if they brought a little bit more about the other cast members, just to give that more rounded about the actual movie. But overall, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with you. I wanted to, that's the thing. I love in-depth documentaries, and one of my favorites is Never Sleep Again, which is about the Nightmare on Elm Street series. that's a 4-hour documentary. So they got the time to really delve into all the aspects that you want to hear about. And this looks like it felt a little bit surface scratchy. I wanted more deep dives. I wanted, let's talk to the special effects people about the gags since they said they got to get back to the gore after the toned down second movie. So I would have liked to hear some stories about that. It is a bummer that we didn't get to talk to Jason himself about the makeup application and stuff, but maybe the people that applied it, and see how did he do sitting there for that long and all that stuff. There's just, it just feels like there's so much more that could be told, but, maybe a lot of that is lost to time and stuff, so.
Yeah, well, Stan Winston.
Yeah,
too,
true, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't know if he would have had an assistant or not, but nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm sure that there was other
people around
working the makeup.
But yeah, I mean, it was informative. It took a weird change at the end that kind of came out of nowhere. Like
the whole reenactment.
The reenactment
was fun.
thing.
It was a little poke to the people that caused the cabin to burn down, which I thought, as a fan, that's kind of fun. I think it would have been more fun as like end credit scene than a full feature thing, but it was still good.
Yeah, it felt a little weird to be like at the end of the documentary, like you're right. It would have been better as a post credits thing, and I think it could stand for a little bit of rearranging, because like you said, they're about to go into what happened to the cabin. And then they just jump to something else with no real reason or explanation why.
Yeah, they start talking about the movies prior to the third movie.
And that's weird. And then, have the narrator give us a voiceover bridge of some kind. And but before we get to that, let's talk about how we got to this third movie to begin with.
Or even if they started with the previous Jasons and then, now we're at the 3D. That would flow a lot better. And then if you're going to talk about the set going down, talk about it, and then, let's talk, and, getting to the cast, or get to the cast earlier.
I think it should have, if it's a memoriam, exactly, end with the whole thing
the
about
cabin.
Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't even think end with the cabin. Do the cabin and all that stuff, and then, if the focus, if it's a memoriam documentary about the actor that played Jason, who passed away in 2013, then have that be the finishing punch of the whole story. Don't have that be something in the middle and then go back to the cabin and then have a weird reenactment.
Or maybe that was the whole thing of the cabin's burning down, so it's the end. And I can kind of gather that, but I wasn't expecting it to have the bulk. I would say probably 50% of the movie that we watched was about Jason and about how his life was and all this stuff.
His impact.
And I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be mainly focused on the movie itself with maybe a little bit of cast background. But
yeah, and again, I guess the title, the memoriam part, should really signify that that's going to be the case, but it didn't occur to me either. And when you start off telling it like it's the story of the movie, and then it kind of switches to the story of this guy, again, a little bit of voiceover from the narrator, and just be like, this documentary started out as a documentary about the movie, but in the process of being made, we lost the main actor, and so then it shifted and became more of a memorial. And it doesn't have to be as on the nose as that, but something to sort of.
But if you think about it,
ease us into it or explain it.
The whole movie, it could be a memoriam about the movie too, because everything's gone.
Not
to give everything away, but
the set,
the mask is gone, the set's gone.
True.
The main actor's gone. Other key players are gone. So a lot of that, what was left of that feature, is no longer around.
That's true.
And that was a movie that bred a lot of what we know of Jason today. So I don't know.
It still did feel.
We got talking about it.
Yeah, it still did feel a bit disjointed at times, but and then the post-credit scene where he's dragging some girl in wintertime, that didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah,
it looked kind of cool, but
it did come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, it's going to be snowing up north. We should go get a shot of Jason doing something up there. We'll figure out a place to put it. But again, I admire the effort and the obvious energy and work that went into making this. Again, it's a solid featurette for a DVD.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
absolutely, it would be something I'd be like, oh, that was cool. You know,
Yeah.
after watching the movie.
Right.
So in that capacity, it succeeds greatly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, guys, once it becomes available, we'll let y'all know. But keep an eye on it. Make sure you're following it on Facebook. I think it's just the Friday the 13th Part 3 Memoriam Documentary. If you Google that, you'll find your way to it. Again, it's Kevin R. Phipps, and Sean Richards, who are the two names associated with it that we know. So you can put that in the Google search as well, and you'll definitely find it. So make sure you follow along and check it out once it becomes available. But until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Derk Harron.
I'm Andrew Mercer.
I'm Marcia Parker.
And remember,
Stay scared.
I don't know why your sing song makes me want to sing song.
Sing song.